Man versus gun.
Israeli Tavor. Hello shooters, Man versus Gun, the Israeli Tavor. I wanted to put one of these through the Man versus Gun series. A buddy of mine named Mark was gracious enough to lend his rifle for the cause, and so you guys will be able to see how this thing does in the Man versus Gun series. Let's start the butt stock. But before we do, the weight of this thing is 10 pounds, but it doesn't feel like 10 pounds. If it was another rifle like the FN being 10 pounds, it's way out beyond the body, and it's harder to operate because it is heavier and longer. Even though this is 10 pounds, since it is shorter and most of the weight is back to the rear of the pistol grip, it doesn't feel like 10 pounds in the hand. But it is 10 pounds. The total length of this thing is 27¼ inches. Nice and short and compact, and that is with the full 16-inch barrel. So that's the beautiful part about a bullpup, is you get the full-length barrel of like an M4 carbine, but the compact size of something shorter than an M4 carbine. The butt plate is rubber, and it is angled. It's not square, so it fits really well in the solar plexus region here where we put our butt stocks. The length of pull is 16 inches. That's also really long. A length of pull of 16 inches is really long. But again, since it's a bullpup design, you don't notice that it's a 16-inch long length of pull. So it's kind of an animal of its own. He does have a Geisley trigger in this thing, and if you get a Tavor, you just might as well, in your mind, you just might as well know you're going to spend $300 more for the Geisley trigger. It is phenomenal compared to the stock trigger. The stock trigger sucks. Geisley doesn't make anything that sucks. This is a phenomenal trigger, and it really helps the shootability of this. When we do the shooting portion, I'll explain a little bit more about that. The pistol grip. The pistol grip is what it is. You can't change it. It doesn't feel bad though. It's not too skinny. It's not too fat. Just kind of medium. The magazine well is flared, just like most M4 magazine wells are. It takes all AR type magazines, with the exception of it won't take a beta mag. But all other AR magazines will work in the Tavor. The magazine release is totally, it's mirror image, ambidextrous, whatever you want to call it. Works equally well right or left-handed. It's right here in front of the magazine well. You can operate it with, some guys do this kind of wrist kind of deal. I don't do that wrist deal. I just actuate it with whatever hand I'm going to grab the magazine with. Works really well. The safety is only one side, and it's 90 degree. I'd like to see a 45 throw on this, and I'd like to see it on both sides. The charging handle is in a perfect spot. I like it up here. It's like where the FN is, a little bit forward there. It is non-reciprocating. That's a good thing in my opinion. But it is only on one side. So in order, like if I'm running this right-handed and then I got to switch to left-handed, I've got to come over the top or come over under the bottom, just kind of like the opposite of an AK. The bolt catch is right here at the end, at the rear of the magazine well. It's easily operated. When it's kind of a pain to put on, but that's okay because you don't want to put it on very often at all. That's how it looks when you got an empty mag in it. To get the bolt to go forward, you just push up on that thing. Works equally well right or left-handed. Ejection of brass is about 2 o'clock, and what is cool is that I did shoot it left-handed, from right to left. I never had brass hit me in the teeth, so the ejection pattern is perfect for shooting right or left-handed with this Tavor, and that is uncharacteristic of most other bullpups. Most other bullpups, you don't have that option. It's one or the other. This you can shoot from both shoulders, and in my estimation, that is huge. Okay, the rear sight is, the sights on the Tavor are probably better protected than any other fixed sights, folding sights that I've ever seen. They're just like integral right with the M1913 rail, front and rear. It comes from the factory with tritium on the front sight. So the Israelis, they do it up pretty good. The front handguard, I didn't run it real hard, but the front handguard, we didn't have any problems with it heating up. The design is good on it. It is what it is. Muzzle device, it comes from the factory with an A2 type muzzle device. I think it has more slots than an A2 does. At least, you know, at first glance it does. So it's gonna have real good flash suppression qualities to it. And it's also closed on the bottom, so it is going to have somewhat of a comp action to it, and it also is going to help keep dust signature low when you're shooting from the prone. It is 100% optics compatible. You got this M1913 rail all along the top here, and there is places on here to attach a sling to. Couple of more notes here. The charging handle, you can put it on the right side. They also have caliber conversion kits out. I guess you can get a 9 barrel and stick a 9 magazine in this thing. There's also buttstock storage capability. There's a storage area underneath the buttstock. And what I was really surprised by is there's already spare parts in inventory that anybody that owns a Tavor can get. My buddy got a firing pin and some other miscellaneous parts that already are available to purchase, which if you get one of these, you need to purchase any fighting rifle. You need spare parts for. So I was really surprised to hear about the spare parts availability. So let's take this bad boy out to the range and warm it up.
The rearward weight of a bullpup design, most of the weight is towards the shoulder. It really helps on the snapshots. Shooting left-handed, I wish the selector was on both sides, but it's not, so you just have to do a workaround. It should be on both sides, but I'm sure somebody will come out with an ambi safety on that. Type 1 malfunction clearance drills are easy to do. You do have to come back a bit more to make sure the mag is pushed in, but the charging handle is in a perfect spot. Just wish it was on both sides. It should be on both sides. Doing speed loads, it's real easy to get the mag out because the mag release is right there in front of the mag well. So it works real well for the speed loads. And the bolt release is in a great spot too. Doing Type 3 malfunction clearance drills right-handed, I had no issues at all. Running the Tavor and the Type 3 right-handed. Everything is where it ought to be placed. Having to charging handles in a great spot. The magazine release is in a great spot for that. Works real well. Conversely, on the other hand, doing Type 3 malfunction clearance drills left-handed, I ran into a lot of trouble. I posted total time for doing the 5 drills left-handed is amongst the slowest there is. And I think it has to do with I wasn't able to get the ejection port pointed downward enough. And so gravity wasn't my friend when I was running the Tavor left-handed. So were I to purchase a Tavor, I would have to spend quite a bit of time trying to diagnose the best way to do Type 3 in the prone left-handed. Because I had no issues right-handed, left-handed, I had a lot of issues. And since, you know, I'm in the middle of doing these drills, I didn't take a lot of time to try and diagnose what was going wrong. The goal is to get the gun back up and running as quickly as possible. But I think with some additional training and just some time on this thing, I could come up with a different way. I don't know what I would do different, but I'd have to. It was no fun doing Type 3 malfunction clearance drills left-handed. That's the bottom line. Doing the 10 rounds at 5 yards, since the weight is rearward, it was fast and easy to come up on target. The Geisley trigger made it even better. doing the 1 to 5 drill with the weight rearward by the shoulder, this is where the Tavor really shines. I posted the fastest time so far in the Man vs. Gun series with the Tavor because it swings from target to target so nice. Thanks for watching.